Good evening, everybody. Chad Horrible Modeler here. Just wanted to give you guys an update on the Galactica and let you know what's been going on. Really haven't got a lot done this week, but haven't had really a lot of time. But I've been working on it a couple hours here tonight, and this week kind of let me collect a little bit of supplies and get some ideas rolling for some things I've been wanting to do to it. So I'm going to set the camera up here and show you what all I got going on. Be right back. Well, as you can see from the desk here, I've got quite a mess going on. I guess let me explain the mess first. Actually, let me backtrack and cover a couple other things real quick. When I first put the first update up, I talked about how I chopped the gator head on the Galactica in order to get the step. The Moebius step basically has a step built into it that the gator head here will be higher a little bit than the actual body, and we know that, you know, in Galactica that it's one complete piece. So basically, there's a couple things you got to do if you want to modify the kit like this. Really easy to do. Hopefully, I mean, I've seen other people do it, but I've never seen anybody explain how they did it. So let me show you. The first thing you need to do is you need to take a deck off of the place where the windows are. This has got 5 decks on it, and you need to take off one. So basically, you'll be left with 3 rows of lamps and then a row of nothing. So you want to leave that deck there. You don't want to get rid of that one because that's got your mounting pegs on it. So you want to get rid of that top deck. And you know, I put a LED strip in there, fiber optics. You know, you can drill them out and fill them if you want to. I wanted to try the fiber optic thing, so that's what I did. Drill a hole in the back, run your wire out. So that was basically step 1. Now, step 2 is a multi-step process. It involves the back of the head piece right here, the bottom of the head piece. So as you can see, the back of the head, when it focuses here, has kind of a nice cutout where the main hole attaches. So you almost have a perfect line to cut and remove the plastic right there. You just have to go up a little bit more, and in fact I took off a little bit too much, I think, on one side, so I'm going to have to backfill that and gap that. The bottom of the gator head, you have to do the same thing. You have to basically cut out in order to make preparation for the step right here. I tried sanding that down a little bit, but that just wasn't getting nowhere near the results. So basically, just to make it easy, I just cut that out. So basically, when it all pops on there now, oh yeah, you also need to drill up these holes a little bit higher to allow this to slide on there a little bit easier. So when it's all said and done now, we are left with a perfectly flush head. There's going to be a little bit of a gap right here that's just going to have to be filled, and that's it. It's going to be perfectly flush. So it's real simple. You don't have to do anything to this bottom piece. It's all good. All you got to do is put that together. So that goes there. The lighting deck goes there. That goes on top, and then that will go into the main hall. So the other problem that I ran into with that is, since I used the fiber optics, is when you put all of that together, you don't have enough space to get in there and cut these fiber optic ends off. So basically what I elected to do was to pre-paint it. See, there's just not enough room to get in there and cut those things. So I've been thinking about my paint colors and everything, and watching what everybody else does and trying to match up what is going to be best for this and for the Aztec decals. You know, I really want that that pretty metal finish that Galactica has. And when it comes to that, you got to go all clads. So I'm doing basically two different colors. I'm doing the too much light here. Anyway, airframe aluminum as a base coat, and then I am lightly dusting over this magnesium. And the magnesium is basically what gives it that nice dark rich color. Let's see if I got too much light on it here. It gives it a nice deep rich color that kind of bounces off and the different lighting. So I think that is going to be a winner as far as getting Galactica's color right. It sure does look good in person. You can see how nice and reflected the all CADs are. They're real easy to shoot through an airbrush, but they are messy. You are definitely going to need pipettes. Take it out, drop it straight into the airbrush. I've been running it neat, no thinners at all, just dropping it right in there. So it's been pretty easy. So then the other thing I've been working on, you can see I have a mess of all kinds of little pieces and parts and everything. I got this awesome little cutter here that I got. And basically what I've been doing with that is, between using that and little pieces of jewelry that for jewelry making that I got at Hobby Lobby, I have been putting in extra details in between the ribs. I elected not to do the rib decals this time because there's just so many of them, and I just, for the effect they look good, but this is way easier and I think it's going to give a lot better of an effect. So here's the example of what I've been doing. I have been using pieces of styrene, pieces of jewelry, and I've also been using some cool pieces of this I-beam plastic, and I've just been cutting off little nibs here with the cutter, and then just dropping some glue in there because it's a curved surface. You pretty much gotta put the glue down, and then I've just been taking the little pieces and adding them in there. And when that's covered with primer and paint, I think that is going to look really cool. There's CGI models galore. There's really, I don't know, to me there's really no right or wrong way to do this. I guess the thing is, I guess you just don't want to overdo it, but by the time with these pieces, by the time here's the upper hull. I did a little bit more on the upper hull. I like this I-beam here. The I-beam sticks up a lot higher than the rib detail, so it gives a lot more dimension to the model. It might take away from the scale a little bit, but as long as I do it in a little bit of areas, it'll be okay. So there's more jewelry and stuff there on the end. So like I was saying, by the time you get the engine pods in there, and you see I've got the holes drilled for a 3mm red LED. Used it with the Dremel stylus. Second from the last bit with this small bit kit. Fits right in there perfectly. These are going to snap in underneath here. There's not a whole lot of room to work. So basically, you're going to have to put your LEDs in there, do a direct 90-degree out, and get everything wired up. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now with this whole thing. Again, just hoping to get the most out of this kit that I can, unlike the first time. And I'm definitely feeling a lot better about it and a lot more confident about it, just because, when I did the first kit, picking the colors was really hard. Those didn't really work out, and then like I said, those decals was just such a huge undertaking, especially for someone that's a beginner and doesn't have the skill level to take care of all that. So thanks a lot for all the subscriptions. And you guys have any questions or comments about any of this stuff, just let me know, and I'll be back hopefully in a couple days with some more progress. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good weekend.